What do you guys think's going on over here? I was passing through and saw this. Must be like an overdose or something. I normally don't go live this late, but I couldn't help myself. All the trolls are probably gonna say, "Oh, he's bothering people. He's bothering people." The trolls can't handle I beat all my cases. I defeated all the prosecutors. I won. I am victorious. I am free to do what I want. I am free to do what I want.
We got there.
And the trolls
got
can't
there.
handle it. They
Go
can't
back to an old
handle
system.
it. They can't get enough of me, the trolls. Oh my god. I defeated all those prosecutors. At least 5 different prosecutors. They were defeated.
The only thing
I
you
drug it
defeated
out so
is
long
anorexia.
that they had to drop almost every case.
Sorry, guys. I had to go get some coffee. My head
You
isn't
can't touch
working yet. I'm
me.
glad the sound's on. I'll be back in
I
2
am
minutes.
untouchable. I am absolutely untouchable. What's up, Jeremy? All these other guys, like Rogue Nation, he lost. He got 2 felonies, right? And then you got like, I think, what's it, DMA audits? I think he, what's up, Gretchy? Yeah, nice to see you too, Jeremy. It's been a couple weeks or a month, right? Yeah, all these other guys, they're getting fucking locked up, man. They're getting fucking charges. They're getting felonies and shit. I beat like 21 charges, including a felony. A felony charge. They'll tell you that the charge was not dismissed. I have the paperwork that says that charge is dismissed with prejudice. Dismissed with prejudice. Same with all the other misdemeanors. I am victorious. I'm the only one that's beat all my charges. Even accountability for all. Even auditing America. All these guys, auditing America pled guilty. You know that? He pled fucking guilty. Even Nasty Nathaniel. Nasty Nathaniel got like 3 charges. Pled guilty. A lot of these guys, they plead guilty. Nobody looks up no one FOIA requests their information. I feel like I'm the only one who takes this shit. Oh shit, that's a live wire. Holy shit. Holy shit, that's a fucking misdemeanors. I wouldn't even do a year in jail. I don't have some extensive criminal history. These idiots think that I'm like some sort of like habitual offender. They don't understand their own shit. They're brainwashed. They are brainwashed. They think that, I don't know what they think. They're trolls, man. They're weird. They got no life. All they try to do is steal your videos because they're losers. They can't make their own content.
Motherfucker, you can't make
Hell
your own
yeah.
content. Evidently.
Have a good one.
This guy just can't stream. Says me, but like...
Man, CLPD's calmed down. They have calmed down.
That blurriness is all him, just so you guys know. That's got nothing to do with me.
Vegas Valley. I don't know much about him. I don't know much about
my
Vegas
electric
Valley.
kettle broke for some reason. So I'm boiling water for the coffee on the cooker. So I need coffee before I can fucking function. I'll be back in a second.
County Transparency is like the only one that's not drama. I need to make more, honestly, Gretchy. I need to make way more. But unfortunately, I got a life, like unlike these trolls. These little itty bitty trolls that want to steal my videos because they can't make their own content. They wish I would go to jail for more than 4 days. They wish. They're drooling. They can taste it in their mouth, but it's never gonna happen because I'm too smart for all of them. They can't touch me. I'm untouchable. I'm absolutely untouchable. Nobody can get me, not even the prosecutor. The prosecutor gave up. They gave up. They literally threw in the towel. It took 4 years to beat all those charges. It took 4 years to beat 21 charges. 4 years. I drug it out. I just kept dragging it out. The plan worked. It worked with flying colors. They couldn't touch me. They could not touch me, guys. I'm like immortal. I have like invincibility or something. Invulnerability. Let the trolls feed on that. The trolls must hate their life because all they do is sit at a computer and steal your videos. They don't see the light of day. They do not see the light of day. All the trolls can't touch me. The courts can't touch me. Oh, they're leaving. What happened? They're leaving. Hey, what happened? No response. He's not a happy camper. He's not a happy camper, guys. No siree. He's not, guys. Let the trolls feed on this, huh? Let the trolls feed on this. The trolls can't touch me.
Your friendly neighborhood troll here.
Why can't the trolls touch me? Because I beat all my charges?
This troll doesn't want to touch you. You smelly fuck. All right, let me go back here a little bit. I think his live is over anyway, so it's not live. But he says a few interesting things.
With flying colors.
All right, that was actually one bit that I heard earlier that I was like, I gotta say.
4 years, I drug it out. I just kept dragging it out. The plan works. It works with flying colors.
It works with flying colors.
They couldn't touch me.
It works with flying colors. Okay, Ricky from Trailer Park Boys. That's not how that sentence works with flying colors. You mean you pass something with flying colors? Something doesn't work with flying colors, you dumb shit. Oh, he's like Ricky from Trailer Park Boys. He passed with flying fucking carpets. Trish Dornsby, a member for 12 months, says, love you, Demon. Thank you so much indeed, Trish. Right back at you. And Jude Curio's here. Good to see you, Jude. Says Irish Demon Army. I can't bring it up on the screen at the moment. I'm using an old system. My sound situation isn't working with one of my programs that I use. It's a pain in the ass. But yeah, Glen fucking Cerio back live again.
They could not touch me, guys.
Again, nobody would want to.
I'm like immortal. I have like invincibility or something. Invulnerability. Let the trolls feed on that. The trolls must hate their life because all they do is sit at a computer and steal your videos. They don't see the light of day. They do not see the light of day.
Is there an echo only when his video is playing, or is the echo when I'm talking? Or both? Can you guys let me know in the side chat? Because, as I say, I did an update on my computer, and something got fucked up, basically. Something got fucked up. So let me know, please, in the side chat if you can. If you can let me know, that would be great. Yeah. Yeah, I think I see what's going on here. Right. So that should be better now. I think. Let me just go back a little bit.
Can't touch me. The courts can't touch me. Oh, they're leaving. What happened? Hey, what happened? No response. He's not a happy camper. He's not a happy camper, guys.
All right. Just give me 1 sec here.
He's not, guys.
Excuse me. Okay, let's get this shit figured out now. You know, first thing in the morning. I'm absolutely exhausted. But anyway. Oh, big ass fly there. It should be better with Irish Demon accent. It'll be better. Yeah, that's true. Okay, so you guys should be able to hear me properly right now. But I wonder, were you able to hear me and the stream at the same time? Goddess of Truth, thank you so much for $5. Says, Irish Demon, do you know if Glenn still has his car to live in, or did he lose it because of how broke ass and homeless he is? I'm actually not 100% sure. I don't know if he did lose the car. If anybody does know, let me know. I think Tella Klein would be the lady to answer that one. If you're out there, Tella, let me know. Ron's KFC, good to see you, my friend, for $2 says, is he pulling this mess in a different state? I don't think so. I can't really see, because of how bad the footage is, it's pretty much impossible to see if if he is indeed in Washington. I can't read it on the side of the truck there. I don't know if you guys can. So can you guys hear me right now, or is there like a delay, or what's the deal?
Let the trolls feed on this, huh? Let the trolls feed on this. The trolls can't touch me. Why can't the trolls touch me?
Now, but like, why would we want to touch you? Nobody wants to touch you, smelly bitch. Yeah, there's that echo, right? Son of a whore. Okay, I'm just gonna leave him play for a little while and figure this shit out.
Because I beat all my charges. I beat all my charges, and the trolls are hurt. They're hurting. They're hurting. Oh man, it's so funny to watch the trolls hurt. It's like, I don't know, man. They're hurt, man. They're like, they were expecting some like serious jail time or prison time, but they're too stupid to realize even if I have 20 misdemeanors, that might give me a year in jail because I don't have a criminal history. That might. Probably not, but I'm not like Rogue Nation, where Rogue Nation got 2 felonies. Rogue Nation got 2 felonies in Georgia. In freaking Georgia, man. This guy's not a happy camper here. He's definitely not a happy camper. I didn't get 2 felonies. Exactly. I'm not like I've never burglarized someone's house. I've never committed like murder or attempted murder or like manslaughter or fucking. I've never done robbery or like I don't even have like I barely have some driving shit, and that shit's nothing. It's like you can't even see it when you do a background check. Like nobody they do a background check and nothing comes back. Nothing comes back. I'm telling you guys, I'm like immortal. You can't touch me. I have immortality. They turn on their own. All the trolls, they turn on their own. Look at what they're doing to their own trolls. They turn on each other. They eat their own children.
On with this fucking thing. Let me know in the side chat, or is there a big ass delay or what? Just waiting to see what comes up. Kind of got to play around with it here a little bit and see what happens. Okay, I'm going to put a questionnaire thing here in the side chat. Let me see here now. Can you hear me and the video? Wait a second. Fuck me. My sound situation is driving me crazy. It's been going like this for excuse me, for a few days since I did the update on my computer, so I might just have to like, I don't know, throw it out the window or something. Excuse me. Sorry about the coughing. First thing in the morning. It's really cold here. I'm breathing. I'm tired. Tired as fuck. So yeah, let me know in the side chat. Can you hear me properly? What's the story here? And for those voting yes, like you can hear me, but is it like is there anything wrong with the sound? What's the fucking story, man?
The trolls, they turn on their own. Look at what they're doing to their own trolls. They turn on each other. They eat their own children. These guys are eating their own children for videos, for views. They will stab each other in the back like there's no tomorrow. Oh, zero loyalty. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I've seen that before, like loads of times. He's absolutely fucking right. So it was the same for anybody who's been around since the flat earth days. You'll have seen the exact same thing. Once flat earth started going downhill and nobody gave a fuck anymore, then all the creators in that kind of sphere started turning on each other. It's the exact same now. You know? He's absolutely fucking right. I cannot argue with Glen on that one. It's 100% correct. And I've never been one of the people to kind of say, you know, it's an us versus them thing. That it's like teams, like, you know, I agree with your perspective. So we have to be on the same side. No, not at all. That's bullshit. But in his case, he's absolutely right. Like, generally speaking, that absolutely does happen where creators do turn on each other the minute that these guys stop streaming. So I can't argue with him on that.
You watch these guys turn on each other. The next minute, it's like, oh, we found this on this guy. We found this on this guy. We FOIA requested. And we have this on this guy. Guys, I can't be touched. When will the trolls just give up and realize?
Excuse me. Just for those that are just tuning in or are unsure, the video quality and the sound quality from his end is his problem. I'm not going to give him shit for that because, let's face it, I have the same issue. So just so you know, though, the choppy video that's him. That's not me. Yeah. As for when will the trolls give up? Never. We will never give up. Don't tell me I'm gone again. Am I? What the fuck, man? No. I'm still here. Doctor Who design. I definitely will check. I absolutely will. I had a really busy day yesterday, so I didn't get around to having a look. Okay, so I'm delayed. Am I? Fuck me. I just don't get it with this thing. See, now my sound should be better, right? On my voice. Okay, I think I know what to do now. Right. Here goes nothing. Let me try this, right? So there might still be a delay, is there? Yes. So now there should be an echo. Oh my god. Why is that though? Okay, I think I'm getting there. I know this seems like really unprofessional, but like in reality, the only way I can do this properly is live, so I can get that immediate feedback as to whether or not the sound is coming through clear. Now, Now, I think I have it figured out. I think I got it figured out. So, there should be no echo now. Am I correct? No echo? No echo. And now you should be able to hear Glen as well. Please, God, let us hear Glen as well.
Guys, I can't be touched. When will the trolls just give up and realize I can't be touched?
Okay. Did you guys hear that clearly? Please, you might have heard a tiny echo, but that's because I don't have my headphones on. Excuse me. God damn, I got such a bad cough from the cold. Okay. Now, that should have worked. I don't know, man. Let me know in the side chat. Echo on Glen, for fuck's sakes. Yeah, that's probably, as I say, that's probably because of I have my speakers on. Sounds like a Borg now. What in the fuck, man? Sounds like he's in the toilet. Ah, Jesus fucking Murphy. Yeah, I think that's because it's coming through on my microphone. All right, you know what? Oh, this is fun. I'm going to leave this play for a minute. I'll go get my bastard headphones. Just give me a sec.
You cannot touch me. They make up all kinds of shit. He doesn't have a car. He can't drive. They're retards. All of them are retarded, I think. I think they're like special ed or something. Which one? Which car? Which car? Be specific, guys. Which car are you talking about? I have multiple cars. Can I ask what happened? Can I ask what happened? Trolls can't touch me. I'm untouchable. I'm untouchable. This guy's not happy. You can't touch this. Nobody can touch this. Nobody can touch this. Nobody can touch this. Nobody can touch this. I'm immortal.
Okay, I think we should be in business now. Fucking hope so. Alright, let me know. Let me know in the side chat. Can you hear me and Lobby the Sausage Monster here at the same time? Yeah, that is the brand of my headphones. Bastard headphones.
Can you guys still hear me? Am I reconnected?
In the post. Yes! See you, Lionel.
Okay.
Like, I'm really glad that they did this, right? Put the fucking screen up. If nothing else, just out of respect for that person. Clearly that person's going through something right now, right? And then you get absolute cock muffins like Glen Cerio letting on that it's all for, you know, the rights of the people and protecting people against the cops. And that may well be the case, right? Sure. Then film it, save it on your camera, go have a tug about it when you go home. You don't need to live stream it to preserve the evidence, do you? So I'm really glad they did that. They know who this arsehole is.
Can you guys still hear me? Am I reconnected?
What was that sound, man? Was there...
Okay. I'm wondering what happened for a minute. Anyways, back to the trolls, guys. The trolls can't touch me. I'm immortal. I have invulnerability.
You have comorbidities is what you have, sir. I mean, this guy thinks he's invulnerable. One of my favorite moments in my YouTube career was I was live. It was an epic live show. Hands down, I would say probably the best live show I ever did. And I was live streaming. I was like re-streaming Glen's stream. And he got his ass locked up live. And I'm sure most of you watching have probably seen that before. It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. So yeah, we have a lot of fun fucking with you, Glen, because of the things that you do to people. That's why we do it. I only came on here as, what would you call it? A vocation. A fucking vocation. Which is to say that I've come on here as much as I can re-stream him live, I will. And here's the reason. There's probably more people watching my stream right now than was watching his original. That's not a dick measuring contest. I don't care about views or whatever. I really don't. But what it does show is that more people are watching just to kind of say, look at this piece of shit, like a zoo, than people who actually watch to support him. That was evident from his comment section and stuff like that. The other side of it, so the original Vintage just said $5 super chat says the vibrating voice and heavy breathing really just adds to the credibility that he should be called Darth Diabetes. I couldn't agree more. But you know what I love about it? The pettiness of these super chats is just something beautiful. It's something beautiful. Because I know that poor bastard didn't make a fucking dime when he was live streaming. He claims that he doesn't want to, but then we all remember the whole Luna thing. I mean, yeah, we all know the fucking story there. Obviously, he cares about it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that either. It's just that petty kind of beautiful feeling when it's like, hey, well done, Glen. Thank you. Got me some fucking coffee and beer money there, you arsehole. Speaking of which, had 2 PayPal super duper chats come through. One from Tina, thank you so much, Tina, and one from my good friend Gregory Yannick. Thank you so much indeed. Now, lads and lassies, while I have you here, actually, side note, we hit 2 massive milestones this week. 2 massive milestones this week, and I never thought I'd see the day, and it's fucking awesome. And those milestones are like this. Now, for some people out there, this ain't a big deal. For me, I think it's epic. I first of all hit 10 million views on my channel, which is just a phenomenal number. It works out as it's like 150 continuous years of viewing, which is an amazing thing. So thank you all for that. And the other one, the big one, I hit 50,000 subscribers yesterday. Thank you all so much. Like, that's absolutely epic. So I'm planning to do a 50,000 subscriber special live stream, and I hope to get people like Johnny O from The Plot Hole, JL Warren, Colin definitely not, Cromwell and a few others come along and join me for that. We'll have a bit of fun, look at some old videos, look at some funny stuff, all that kind of thing. So yeah, I'm really, really looking forward to that, just to kind of have a bit of a mini party and have some fun. It's going to be fucking awesome. So thank you all so much for that. Halfway to my goal, which was originally my goal for the end of this year. It's not completely out of the question to get to 100k by the end of the year. I'll have to really work my ass off, and I'm going to try. Cerebral tackle, hell yeah. Oh yeah, I caught a fish with your bait the other day. Actually, that's a lie. I didn't. My nephew did, but I was holding the rod. Like, you know what I mean? He's only 4. But the original vintage, thank you so much for $2 Aussie, says additional petty super chat because reasons. Suck on that, Glen. Thank you very much. That's epic. I love pissing him off like that. But you notice that all of these audits he's doing is still just firefighters and paramedics. Why no more cops, Glen? If you're never in trouble or you can't be touched, is it? Which is probably a good thing. Did someone say petty super chat? Nacho friend for $2 New Zealand dollars. Although, if you're from New Zealand, I think it's called a pity super chat. Pity one. A pity one. Man, I miss my Kiwi friends in Australia. Damn. And as much as I do love my Kiwi friends. Like, they're awesome people. I love Kiwis. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. As much as I love you guys, I am going to rile around in glee when we destroy you in rugby in the coming weeks. Rugby World Cup's on at the moment. So as you can imagine, I'm excited. I'm a huge rugby fan. I love rugby so fucking much. And like, for example, I watched the Japan-England game the other night and it was epic. Japan played amazing. Now, they did lose by 22 points, which sounds like an awful lot. And it is, but it was like last minute stuff. It was a shame because they're an epic side. So anyway, nobody gives a shit about that. The original vintage for $5 Aussie says 10 million views. That's like 1 view for every calorie Glen Cerio consumes on a weekly basis. That's beautiful. Hashtag petty super chat. My nipples are getting hard now. I think that's because the cold, the weather here. I'll tell you guys in a minute. The original vintage, welcome to the Demon Army, lads and lasses in the side chat. You know what to do. Drop those petty shamrocks in the side chat, the defamation shamrocks, to welcome the original vintage all the way from Queensland, Australia. I do miss Australia at times, but like we had like some proper Western Australia weather here last week, right? My God, I was out on the bike. My buddy lives right across the way from me. We were out on the bikes, fucking sun splitting the stones. On the way home, it pissed rain. I mean now, you know that movie rain? Like, it was really bad. And then it got just instantly freezing cold. But anyway, I don't know what's going on here. It's kind of like New Zealand, like sunny and beautiful 1 minute and bam, fucking cold and rainy literally the next minute. Lionel Eridu says, go South Africa. I knew you were South African. I was going to say it earlier. And the reason I knew it was because I can't remember if you said what's it or how's it. But I remember so where I worked in Australia, it was like a couple of Irish people, a couple of Palms, a few Aussies, loads of Kiwis, and loads of South Africans. So my best friend out there was, still is, a South African guy from Durban. So I remember a lot of the stuff there. If you guys love food, South African food is amazing. It really is. Especially Indian South African food, in my opinion. They made me a lamb curry one day for my birthday. Holy shit, it was amazing. And I love meat. I love like barbecue and, oh God, I love good meat. That sounds really bad. You know what I mean? Don't clip that out of context. I love good meat. Jesus Christ. Anyway, my favorite thing in the world, food-wise, all the South Africans here are going to lose their damn minds when I say this. I love Drovers. Drovers is my favorite thing. It's really hard to get in Ireland. It's really easy to get in Australia, really hard to get in Ireland. There's one or two companies here that do it, and both times I've tried it, I haven't really loved it. I gotta be honest. It was like way too fatty. I do like biltong, obviously. Who doesn't like biltong? But it's got to be good biltong. Do you know what I'm saying? Lisa Doran, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Says you're number one. Thank you so much indeed. And Lisa, who's also been a member for 5 months, is super proud of you. Thank you so much. That does mean a lot to me. And you know, something I love about this channel as well is, yeah, I get a bit of shit from people from time to time. Bridge the divide. I knew. Hey, you down for coming on for my 50,000 subscriber special? I don't think it would be a celebration of my good and bad times on YouTube without you being there. The sparkler incident, the angry Irishman in the car incident. What was the other one? There was another one that was particularly famous. I don't know if you remember. I think the sparkler one was the best one. Sparkler. What else was a good one? The hot sauce one was pretty epic. I'm going to put this all together. I may even do my 50,000 subscriber live stream tonight. I have a little bit of a busy day, but not too crazy. Nice, JL. It says, I'm always down to come on you. I mean your channel. I thought we weren't going to talk about what happened in Kentucky. It was Kentucky, right? Was it Kentucky or Tennessee? My brain. Yeah, exactly. So Lionel Aradu just explaining for people who don't know, Drovers is dried sausage. It's Afrikaans, I think is the right way of saying it. Afrikaans, which is kind of like a South African Dutch kind of language, basically. It's you'd have to know a little bit about the history of South Africa to understand that one. But yeah, Drovers. I love it. I love Drovers. The other one that I like, obviously I like biltong. Biltong's awesome. Borvers is lovely. Borvers is absolutely beautiful. So yeah, we'll just watch out the rest of this one. We'll have a little bit of a chat for a while. If you guys think of anything funny that you'd like to watch, it's 8:30 in the morning here. I'm up now. I'm awake, so I may as well stay here for a little while. If you guys want to,
trolls can't even find me. They can't even locate me.
Is that a challenge, sir? Is that a challenge, sir? Lads and lassies, I have a new thing on my Discord. I have become determined to start being more interactive with people. And that's not that I haven't wanted to be. It's just I've been so busy. I really have been quite busy. And I've had a lot of crazy shit go on over the last month or so. So it's been hectic. Not necessarily bad. Not fucking great, though, I'll be honest with you. Not great, but not bad. And I've been sick and I was on vacation. And yeah, anyway, that's neither here nor there. So I haven't had the chance to get back to people. I had a bit of an injury on my hand. Nothing, no big deal. I haven't really kind of talked to people about it. Had a few stitches on my main mixing finger. And so I've been out of action with the leatherwork for a little while. So I know a few people are waiting on some stuff. I did practice a little bit yesterday. The hand wasn't quite up to it, to be honest. So I'm getting there. So what happened? Caught molesting baked goods. You're not supposed to grip it that hard. No, it was the outside. That's the problem. It was like sandpaper. My Mickey's like sandpaper. Lads, I don't know if I'll get in trouble for showing this video, right? I was over in my friend's, my buddy's camping over there at the moment. He's got this fucking epic RV, right? It's so cool. It's about the size of my cottage. It's fucking epic. And we were watching this hilarious video last night. So if anybody wants to see it, it's a bit raunchy. I'll be honest with you. It's on YouTube already, so it shouldn't get me in trouble. I don't know. It's if you guys, okay, I'm gonna put two words together, and if you know what I'm talking about, put a 1 in the side chat, right? 2 words: grapefruit and dildo. And if you know what I'm talking about, put a 1 in the side chat. I don't know if I should, but anyway. Oh, very good question here. Kiwi Gamer says, did you ever have emu, kangaroo, buffalo, and crocodile? And did you go to Kalgoorlie when you worked there? So, emu, I believe I had emu. I can't remember specifically, but I'm pretty sure I did have emu. Kangaroo, definitely. So, I went on a bit of a gym binge at one point, and as you could tell from my muscular, masculine physique, obviously I was a gym junkie. Jim Beam, the drink, but that's neither here nor there. And I was told by all the Aussie weightlifters and stuff that if you want to get ripped cheap and get loads of good protein, kanga bangers, literally kangaroo sausages, you can buy them in Coles and Woolies in Australia, which are everywhere. It was, it's not a bad meat. It wouldn't be something that I would kind of go out of my way to get. It's a little bit tough, quite gamey, but nice. Like, it was fine. The other one, buffalo, I have had quite a few times. When I was just up between Western Australia and the Northern Territories, up in, dang it, what's the name of that town? It's a really well-known town up there. Bollocks. It's been a bit of a while now since I've been there, so border of Western Australia and NT. I can't remember what the name of the town is. If anybody can think of this town, it's a well-known town. A buddy of mine, an Irish guy up there. Bollocks, what was it called? See, Australia is a pretty small place, so I'm sure I'll find it. God damn. Australia is astronomically big. I'll find it here now, 2 seconds. But I worked up around the Pilbara and places like that, up in... Oh, wait, now, hold on. Maybe... No, I'd say the chances of me finding this now, I'd have better chances of getting picked for the New England Patriots than I would for finding this fucking town out in the middle of nowhere. Mind you, there's not a whole lot of roads out there. So I'm just looking at the map of Australia at the moment. Some of the places I've been have been like way fucking out there. Like Fitzroy Crossing, right? So I was staying out in Broome for a little while, and so hold on, can I bring this? Give me a second. See, some of you might not give an absolute fuck about this now. I don't know how I got onto this. Stop sidetracking me, Kiwi Gamer. Oh no, I'll get back to it here in a minute. That's what I'll do. Sonic97, good to see you. Gnomestead, I've only had moose goulash. Moose fucking goulash. Hold on, I'll get back to the question, because it's a good question. Kiwi Gamer, you've been around a long fucking time. Awesome. Hold on. There's a wrench for you, my friend. And Navy Doc's another one. I'm going to selectively give out wrenches over the next few weeks, so make sure and show up if you want one. Anyway, so buffalo I've had that out in the middle of nowhere. But anyway, up towards the Northern Territories, when you start getting into a bit more kind of wetland, you start getting more of the buffalo, wild buffalo up there. And we were staying on this beautiful Aboriginal camp. I can't remember the name of the area. I've stayed in quite a few of them all over Australia, but with my work and stuff like that. And some literally kids, like I'm talking like maybe 12 to 14-year-old kids, went out hunting. And we were supposed to go with them. We were invited to come hunting with them. And unfortunately, we couldn't go. We had some issues at work that we had to sort out. So basically, I was doing security for it's hard to explain. So you'd have like mining guys, right? Guys who are big in the mining industry. And they would have to... Oh, Pam, is it? Friends call me Pam. Well, I'll call you Pam. Thank you, Pam. I might forget that, but do remind me, because I'm terrible with names. But anyway, so we would travel around a lot with these guys, just giving security. So not against like people out bush or anything like that. It was just that when somebody ventures way out into the middle of the bush, they need to have security. They have to. Especially when it comes to mining. And it's not because necessarily the money. It's because of... There's a lot of issues there, especially in on indigenous land, Aboriginal land. They, understandably, it's something I always had a bit of an issue with. They would they'd have a lot of resentment for these guys coming out trying to dig up Aboriginal land to put mines on. Now, the people are well paid for it, but I just felt like it was reminiscent of, when the not ancient, but like, the medieval or late medieval Renaissance explorers would go out and they would get gold, but they would be given the people there like glass beads and fucking mirrors and shit, right? It was kind of reminiscent of that in a way. And I'm not one of those like, oh, fucking colonizer. Like, I'm not like super lefty or anything like that. I'm more in the middle, basically. But I had some weird experiences out there where I was like, this is pissing me off a little bit, because you go out to these beautiful Aboriginal settlements where people have lived in that way for like tens of thousands of years. And you have these guys coming along, right? They throw a few $1 million around to the kind of leaders of some of those communities, the ones who would actually accept that money. They throw a few $1 million around, but they go and they make billions and billions and billions and billions off that land. Now, fair enough, they're the ones putting the money into it. But then the average Joes that live around the towns, and there is a lot of poverty in those communities, those average Joes, they get sweet fuck all. They throw a little party for them. Like, literally, they put a tuck shop full of shitty food just to keep the people kind of happy and keep them agreeing with just pissing away all their land. Like, it really, I don't know, man. I just really don't like it. But so anyway, yeah, we had to give those arseholes security. But I really loved it though, because I was able to travel the whole way around, mostly Western Australia. Little bit of, I can't remember if I went over the border into the Northern Territory or not. And PNG, like, it's just awesome. It was really cool. And I got to learn so much about Aboriginal culture out there. You could study Aboriginal culture for 2 lifetimes and you wouldn't learn half of what the reality of it is. It's amazing. I found it fascinating. I absolutely loved it. One of the greatest moments I had, I'll never forget it. I was up in northwestern Australia, just past Broome. I can't remember the name of the area or which tribe it was, which mob or whatever. It was, yeah, there's so many different countries within Australia. It's really fascinating. Like, it really, really is. But I remember we met this Aboriginal elder, and the right thing to do there is to get in contact with the elders and be welcomed into a community. Like, legally, for the most part, you can just drive into the communities like any other town. But the right thing to do is to ask permission, because that's the way they've done it for thousands and thousands of years. So I'm like, cool, yeah, let's do that then. So met this guy. He was really funny. We had a great laugh with him. And then we were brought into the village, and they were preparing for one of their, feast days or whatever it is. I can't remember what it was for or whatever. So they did a load of hunting and all the rest of it. People were getting dressed up in some traditional gear. And I asked the elder, there was 2 things he said that I just loved. Actually, he said one of them. And it was a different guy that said the other thing, now that I remember. But I was asking him like about the feast day, and he was kind of explaining it was about like the foundation of their group and their mob or their tribe or whatever. And he was explaining the history of their people and how they came to be. And you if it's something that interests you, you should look into Aboriginal origin stories. Now I can feel JL Warren twitching over here. They explained to me, a lot of them explained to me that they don't really have a religion as such. They kind of not worship, but they pay respect to their ancestors and things like that. Like a lot of, hunter-gatherer groups have done for forever, basically. But he was telling me about the origin story of their people, and it was fascinating. It was really interesting. The story itself was brilliant. It usually centers around nature, around animals, around the trees, all this kind of thing, which I think is a beautiful thing, because that's where we do come from. We do come from nature. But anyway, there was a man sitting down, and he had what looked like a didgeridoo to me. And he was sitting down and he was kind of holding it in his toe like that, right? So they balance it on his toe. And he was looking down it and then tapping it and then looking down it and tapping it. Test blow, tap it, like all this kind of stuff. I was like, oh, did you just make this one? Me being me, not understanding anything. He was like, mate, you don't make a didgeridoo. I was like, huh? You don't make a didgeridoo? So what about all the didgeridoos in the shops and stuff, in the gift shops? He's like, they're not didgeridoos. They just look like didgeridoos and they sound like didgeridoos and they're beautiful in their own right, but they're not didgeridoos. I was like, okay. I was like, so if you don't make it, and he said, you don't make the didgeridoo. Nature makes the didgeridoo. The trees make the didgeridoo. The fire ants or the termites make the didgeridoo. So in order for it to be a proper didgeridoo, I don't know if this is right across the board with all Aboriginal countries, but definitely with their group. And I think the Noongar in Western Australia are the same. From people I've spoken to, it's not really truly a didgeridoo unless it's been made by the termites naturally. And you can tap it and core it out a little bit more as much as you need. But anyway, I just thought that was fascinating. I'm a nerd with things like that, and I love it. I loved being out in the bush. It was too hot for me. I wouldn't be able to live there, I don't think. But it was beautiful. And the people, oh my God, the people are so lovely. And I know there are issues, of course there are, in Australia. Any Aussies watching right now, you know yourselves. You know how it is. There are issues in Australia when it comes to the Aboriginal people there. They've never recovered fully from how they'd been treated in the past. And sadly, there is a lot of serious problems in the community, alcoholism, drugs and stuff in the cities especially, and also in country towns. But when you go out bush, out into the deep bush, the grog, as they call it, has made its way out there a long time ago, and it's still an issue. A lot of these towns are dry towns. One of them I went to is a place called Jigalong, is a dry town. The other problem in a lot of those remote communities is they don't believe in Western medicine. And I remember asking a lady out there, and it broke my fucking heart. Her little girl had diabetes, and she was this cute little thing. She was about maybe 3 or 4, and she had diabetes. And I was like, oh, does she have to have an injection? Or, because I can never remember the difference between the types. And she said, no, absolutely not. They don't trust the white man's medicine, as she called it. And you have to, when you go to Australia, especially if you go out bush, you have to not take offense to things, because it's their way of explaining it in the way that they know and the way that they've seen the world. And I totally get that. I totally get it. And she was saying how they don't believe in the white man's medicine. And I said, okay, but like her being that unwell, it might be the only way to do it. And she said that she just needs to go back to her roots and eat what her ancestors had eaten for millennia. And it would have been a very meat-heavy diet, and it would have been a very root-heavy diet. There wouldn't have been a lot of, there would have been no sugar. But this is what I'm talking about. These guys come over in the 60s and 70s when Aboriginal people started to really get their rights back. They start buying up all the land rather than taking it, buying it up for pennies, and it's worth billions and billions and billions. And they put these tuck shops in, and they were giving people all this delicious chocolate and sugary drinks and stuff like that. And of course, like anybody, you get hooked on that stuff and people start dying. Diabetes is a huge problem in rural Aboriginal settlements. Massive problem. It was one thing that shocked me to my core when I got there, was the sheer amount of people in wheelchairs missing lower limbs and stuff from diabetes. And I was like, what the fuck is going on here? Why is everybody missing lower limbs? And I was new, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. I had only been in Australia a few months when I got sent out bush. And the lads were like, oh, that's very common. The Aussie guys that I worked with, they were like, that's very, very, very common. Because diabetes is a huge problem in rural Aboriginal settlements. But anyway, the original vintage for 10 Aussie dollars says, there's a current referendum that Australians need to vote on in 3 weeks to give Indigenous people a say in politics. but it's set to fail as it's become such a corrupt endeavor by the party in power. Now, I agree with that. Okay, so this is another big problem. I'll read your next comment first. It says, I'd love to debate on the topic with someone outside the country as an objective third party to see if there's a way forward to potentially get progress. I would definitely be open for conversations like that. And I'm sure there will be shows on here that people will be bored shitless talking about stuff like this. But you know what? It's important. It's really important. So can I just ask you, what party is it? It was one thing that bothered me, and I saw it a lot when the mining companies would go out to small settlements and we'd go with them. And you get out there and the guys that are running these mining companies would kind of start throwing small amounts of money that look big compared to what they were earning. And it would be the more prominent members of that community, the one guy with the big Hilux, so to speak. If you know what I'm talking about, I think you know what I'm talking about, would kind of make all the calls, make all the decisions, and everybody else would get like little gratuities. You know what I'm saying? It sucked. It really did suck. It's one thing that really bothered me out there. But Australia, love the place. Love it. It's like a second home. And it was my home for so long. And I've always had an affinity with Australia. Just, I've always had family there, and I love the culture and the lifestyle. I love the weather, obviously, and just the natural stuff there. It's an amazing place. But by fuck does it have its problems, man. Like any country. I mean, all countries do, of course. Of course they do. But Australia has a few things it needs to sort itself out on. It really does. But I bloody love it. Love it. I still use Australianisms every day because I spent a good part of my life there, and I still use a lot. Like somebody asked me the other day, "Oh, how are you, mate?" And I was like, flat out like a lizard drinking. I still call people mate, which Irish people don't really say. We're having a bloody heat wave now, September, and it's 32 degrees. No way did I catch a live. 3:38 a.m. Good to see you, Casey. You did. It was just spur of the moment. I woke up at about 7 a.m., looked at my phone. Glen feckin' Cerio was live. I was like, you know what? Let's fuck with Glen for a little while. Hell yeah. Fuck that guy. But Glen, if you are watching, legit, right? And this is just an offer I'm putting out there to you. If anybody can get me in touch with Glen, if you know his email. I had his email address, but he doesn't seem to want to respond, and that's fine. Glen, I would be open to just have you on for a conversation. Just you and me. Not an ambush, just a chat. I just want to understand you a little bit more. That's all it is, I promise. The original Vintage says, the idea is this, your voice is to give a voice to Indigenous, which I'm not against, but the way it's structured in government is to pay certain people a lot of money to argue for reasons. That is the bigger problem that's a huge problem in the Aboriginal community in Australia. There are these, more educated people, as in educated by Western standards, who get sent off to talk for their communities, and there is a lot of corruption. There's a fuck ton of corruption, and it's a shame. It really is, because you've got these folks out there fighting for rights, right? And like, it's not to suggest that Aboriginals don't have the exact same rights as every other Australian. On paper, yes, they do, right? Of course they do. But you talk to any Indigenous person in Australia and they'll have the same stories. And I'm sure it's the same in other countries too, don't get me wrong. I could walk into, like, shop security is a big thing in Australia. I'll never forget the first time I came out of a Target in Australia. All right, we'll get back to Glen Blobby by fucking Cerio in a minute. I'll never forget the first time I came out of a Target in Western Australia. In a place called, was it Kwinana? Anyway, it doesn't matter. I was walking out the door. I'd been in Australia about 2-3 days, going in to get a few bits and pieces, some clothes and what have you. I'm walking out the door with my bags of stuff. Excuse me, mate, can I check your bag? I was like, what? Can I check your bag? I was like, my bag? I was like, why? I just paid for my shit. He went through my bags to make sure I paid for everything. And I was like, the fuck is this? I was like, do I look like a scumbag? Like, no, I don't. I was well dressed, and I think I was going for a job interview that day. I was like, what the fuck is going on here? But apparently it's common. And this lady came over and she tapped me on the shoulder and she's like, excuse me, love. It's very common here for people to get the bags checked. I was like, oh, okay, all right then. I didn't know that. But after a while, it got really fucking irritating. It got really annoying. To the point where I'd just be like, no thanks, and I'd walk right out the door. Because by that stage, I'd worked in security myself as a mall cop. I'd done mobile patrol. I'd done personal stuff. I'd done the courts, lock up, all that shit. So I'd seen it all at that point, and I started studying law. Now, I'm not a lawyer. I'm miles off a law degree, don't get me wrong. But I know enough, and I'd spent enough time in court to kind of, the whole, like, I know my rights. Not in that way, but it's like, we need to check your bags. I'm like, call a cop then. Goodbye. And I go to walk out the door, and one guy tried to block me one time, and I just had my eye surgery. So I was really pissed off. I was sick. I was sore for days. And he tried to stop me. And I was like, don't put your fucking hands on me, first of all. I was like, if you think I've taken something, by all means, call a police officer or whatever. I'll show them everything. Not that I feel I have to, but I was like, but you are a mall cop. Fuck out of my face, please. And then I just walked out the door. And then when I came back, the guy said that it's a condition of entry to the store that you must present bags to be checked after you leave. True. That, and legally, they can say that, and that can legally be a condition of entry, but they can't enforce it. They can't force you to do it. All they can do is not let you in the next time, and they have a right to do that. They never did. You know what I mean? They never actually did it to me. But then I got to know some of the staff in the stores that I would regularly go to. You'd recognize their face or whatever, and you kind of go, hello, and they know that you're okay. But I will say this. You go to any, it's usually Target, Kmart, all those places. Reasonably well-dressed white guy, you're not getting checked. Reasonably well-dressed Aboriginal guy, you're getting checked. And I've never been one of those, like, because I come from Ireland, man. Like, we don't have a whole racial thing here. It's, I know that it's still a problem in the States and South Africa and Australia and places like that. I get that. I don't deny it. I don't, cower away from the fact that is a thing. But I'm not used to it because where I live, like Ireland is, I don't even know what the statistics are. I think we're probably 85, 90% white people. And non-white people in Ireland, it's like, you obviously know because you look at them and they look different to you. We just don't care, though. That's the problem. It's not a problem. No, it's actually a good thing. We just don't care. You could be 100%, let's say, West African DNA, for argument's sake. I don't even know if this is PC the way I'm saying this. I also don't care. Your parents could both be from Nigeria. Born and raised. Their parents were from Nigeria all the way back the line. And you could be born in Nigeria. And let's say as a kid, you moved to Ireland. And that was common for my age group. When I was very, very young, a lot of people did migrate to Ireland from Nigeria, specifically from Nigeria because of some of the internal issues they were having there. Those kids that grew up in Ireland who were born in Nigeria are just as Irish as me. Like, I would not put myself higher on the scale of paddiness than them. Just because I'm white-skinned and they're black-skinned, or because even the fact that I was born on this island and all my ancestors have been, in my view, never made me feel more Irish than they did, because we were brought up the same. Irishness is kind of more about the experience of living in this country and living in this culture. And we do have a very unusual culture in Ireland. Our political landscape is totally different to anywhere else in the world. Like, for example, like in our government, the Dáil, you could be very left-wing, traditional left-wing Republicans. So the Republicans are the left-wing ones in Ireland for the most part. There are other leftist parties that would be more modern left-wing, as it were. progressive left wing. But the Republican parties in Ireland, the Republican Party being Sinn Féin, is quite left wing. But then a lot of the lads who support those parties they'd be very politically left, but culturally they'd be very, not far right or anything, but more right leaning or right of centre. So we're very different. We're very, very different politically to most countries. It's just an interesting thing. Carl's Order of the Squirrels. If you don't like it, don't watch it. All right, bud? Nobody's got a gun to your head. I'm catching up with people. I haven't been live properly for ages. Catching up with people. We're having a laugh. People are interested. If you're not, that's okay, bud. It's YouTube. There's millions of videos you can go watch. All right? I'm not having a go, but it's like, there's loads of people here that just want to have a chat. I know it's not me, Carl. I know it's not me that's boring. I'm fun as shit. But I'm just saying, people want to chat about different things. You know what I'm saying? Actually, that's a good point. Beck says, in California, you shoplift and they won't even stop you. Yeah. So I remember seeing this all over the news. I didn't pay too much attention to it because I didn't really care enough. But what is that whole thing? Like all these massive shoplifting attacks and basically nothing happens. They just walk out the door. Like, I mean, in Ireland, thankfully we don't really have very high crime here. We have a little bit. I am Black Irish. That's absolutely right, Raven. So I'm what's called Black Irish. Never forget the time I said that live one day and I got eaten alive by people. And I get it now. I kind of wigged out that day because people were like, oh my God, like that's a racist thing to say. I'm like, no, it's not. That's literally not. It's a term that's been used here since before the colonies even existed in the United States. So we kind of got dibs on that term. What it means, the Black Irish are people. We come from the west coast of Ireland. Now, there's two kind of schools of thought on it. I'm on the fence, and I'll tell you why. So, the first school of thought was always that it was because of the Spanish Armada, and that's what I believed. So they came up around the west coast of Ireland. They landed at Kinsale, which is very close to where I live, about an hour away, not even an hour away. And it was believed that because of, the sallow skin and the dark hair, that basically they shagged their way up the west coast of Ireland. They weren't invaders to us. They were the good guys. And basically they shagged their way up the west coast of Ireland. That's how we all ended up with dark hair and, like my skin looks a bit washed out now because of my big light here, but that's how we all ended up with dark hair and all that stuff. And I believed that for the longest time. I thought, that's very plausible. It's very reasonable. But then the more I kind of looked into it, I did my DNA test and I don't have any Iberian DNA at all. So I was like, how does that work? Hold on there a sec now. I actually do need to turn down the light on this here because it's a bit demented here now. It's a bit bright. It's a bit on the bright side now, lads. Anyway, so yeah, I did my DNA test. Turned out I had no Iberian blood whatsoever. So I was like, fuck it. Okay, let's go back to the drawing board. So when I checked my DNA, funnily enough, 7% Indian. As in from India. Madras, specifically. And I went to my uncle Brendan. If you saw my Uncle Brendan and my dad, actually all my dad's brothers, they're all quite dark as well, right? So, like, as I say, my skin is much darker than it looks on the stream right now because of this light, But all my uncles, my grandmother, God rest her soul, she was very dark. And my grandfather, if you saw a picture of my grandfather, if you saw a picture of my grandfather, later in his life, you would have easily been convinced that he was Indian. And pictures of him as a kid with his brothers in the 1920s or 30s, like, but looking at him, you're like, yeah, that guy's clearly Indian. He looked like kind of like Anglo-Indian or something. It's kind of hard to lock down. But anyway, we did a bit of digging. Turns out one of my great grandfathers or something like that he was an Indian general in Madras, and he was connected to the British Expeditionary Force over there. And we just only found that out last year. It was really, really cool. So I'm 7% Indian, and I milk it. Anytime I go into like Indian places, like Indian restaurants or stores or whatever, especially when I was in Spain, I would start kicking up deals with this guy, and they'd be like, "Oh, where are you from? Where are you from?" And I'd be like, "I'm from Ireland, but I'm part Indian." Really? I'm like, "Yeah, my great grandfather's from Madras." They're like, "Oh, okay." And then we'd start chatting, and I'd always get a good deal. 2 separate genetic studies found out little if any Spanish traces in Irish DNA. I did not know that. I didn't know that for a fact, but it makes sense. It's the same with Viking DNA. So a lot of people kind of hark on about this, like, I'm X% Viking. Okay, no, you're not, because nobody alive today, bar maybe a few people, are any bit Viking. Because Viking isn't a subgroup of DNA or anything like that. Viking was an occupation. They were referred to as Vikings. They went raiding and pillaging and setting up new lands in foreign places. It's only kind of in the modern, it's actually since the Victorian era that we've really referred to them as Vikings. And the reason for that is because there was the Victorian revival. And what we saw during the Victorian revival was the Viking with the horny helmets. Jesus Christ, I can't believe I said that term. Vikings with horns in their helmets and, the pigtails and all that stuff. That's when that all came back. And the term Viking, obviously it had always been used, but that's when it really came into use, because the idea of calling them Danes or Norsemen didn't have that same punch. That's why they used the term Viking to refer to all of those. So that's exactly right. Most Vikings were farmers. Like, they jumped on a ship, raided a distant land. Like Viking, if I remember correctly, I did do quite a bit of research into it in the past, but not into the etymology as such. It just means pirate, basically. But they certainly wouldn't have used the word Viking, if I remember correctly. It's been a long time now since I've looked into this. I love deep diving and history stuff. So the term Viking, any of the Scandinavian seafaring pirates and traders who raided and settled in many parts of northwestern Europe. So that's basically what it is. Oh yeah, so it does come from the Old Norse word Vikinger, which usually meant pirate or raider. So it was an occupation. It wasn't a bloodline or anything. So yeah, you could have DNA that is similar to that of people who happen to have also been Vikings. But Viking DNA is not a thing as such, if that makes sense. Anyway, I hope that makes sense. I don't know how the fuck we got back to this. I really don't. But anyway, let's start off. We'll watch the rest of Glen's video here. And then, we'll just chat for a bit, see if there's anything else you guys want to watch that you've seen or want to have a look at.
They don't know where I am.
I say I'm going to have my
they don't know where I live.
subscriber special either tonight or tomorrow. It depends on how busy I am today. I'm going to help my friend buy a car today and stuff like that. So.
They just can't handle their lives.
They were of Rus extraction.
All the trolls are jealous.
I think, sorry, just because we were on that topic, I'm just going to have a look at that. So, Diver Dan Navy Vet says they were of Rus extraction. No, I think it's still debated. So the Rus Vikings, my understanding was that they were Scandinavian descent that went east, essentially. I would imagine in search of spices and things like that. And they ended up in what is modern day Ukraine. So they would have been known, if I'm saying this right, I might not be, but they would have been known as the Kievan Rus, because Kiev in and of itself was kind of a kingdom in and of itself. So the Rus were pretty cool. They had really cool costumes and shit like that. They were epic horsemen and fighters. So I think it was the Rus that came from the original Vikings, and I'm using the term Vikings in the way that people normally do. I was just being pedantic earlier, but my understanding is that the Rus came from the Vikings, not the other way around. I might be wrong on that. And they would have mixed with a lot of the different Germanic tribes and things like that along the way it wasn't a quick transition, but yeah. Anyway, and correct me if I'm wrong. I may be wrong. I'm open to correction on this because I haven't actually looked into it. But my understanding was that the term Russia comes from the Rus. Well, I might be wrong on that. So are you the original Punjab Paddy? No, I'm the Madras Paddy, so I'm a Madras Mikey.
Jealous little trolls.
One thing I will never be, Glen Cerio, is jealous of you. And I don't mean that in a nasty way. I'm not trying to be, trying to put him down or anything like that. But that's just the sum total of it. I will never be jealous of Glen Cerio. Do I have the ability to be jealous of other human beings? Yes. Of course. We all do. Of course. That's normal. And I will Madras Mick. That's what I was trying to say, and it just wouldn't come out. It's normal to be jealous of people. It's human nature. It's animal nature. And we try to get past it, but that's the way it is. But I will never, ever, ever be jealous of Glen Cerio. Can you let me know in the side chat? Is there anything that you could be jealous of Glen Cerio for? I don't think so. I just don't see anything that you could be. I mean, he must have phenomenal lungs to have been able to stay alive this long. The Viking made their way from Scandinavia to Eastern Europe and even down to Istanbul. That's correct. Yeah, they did. There was a Viking burial site found in, I think it was in Denmark. I can't remember exactly where. And it was a really early one as well. They could tell from the axes and swords that were found in it, the style of how they were made and stuff like that. And they found Buddhas, little Buddhas in them. So they were trading quite a lot with China and the East. It was a jade Buddha, I think, for quite a while. Sorry for getting back to that. I'm going to leave that for now. My Overton window would make Bridge to the Divide jealous. Whew. You keep your Overton window in your pants. I love doing the Overton test with people because it really freaks people out what they actually are. I don't think anyone has been jealous of Glen Cerio. Who in the heck would be jealous of him? You know what? That's actually a fair point, even though it's misguided, as in, sorry, not that you're misguided, but he's misguided. I'm jealous that Glen has such a drive and missionary sense of purpose. That's a fair point. I mean, I can't argue with that. That actually is a fair point. His self-esteem, Ficent Magni says his self-esteem. Again, that's a very good point. Now, I don't know what his true self-esteem is, but there you go. Le Salon de Discussion, or the Discussion Salon, says, hey, hi all. Enchanté. Lord Bacon says, I wish Glen would show up at the gate to my place. Let's just say I'd see to it the mountain lions had plenty to eat all winter. Poor mountain lions. Poor mountain lions. Self-delusion, more likely. Yeah, that's actually, yeah, you got a point there. He is a bit delusional. All right, let's have a look here, see what else goes on here.
Oh, shit.
Did I accidentally click on fucking Pornhub here?
This old man's worried about me filming. He can't handle my filming.
Right? I have been a larger gent, right? I'm getting there. Fitness wise and everything, like I've been looking after myself quite a bit more because I had noticed, and like Colin, I love Colin, definitely not Cromwell, because he keeps on my ass the whole time with my channel. He'd be like, dude, you need to be putting out more stuff. I'm like, you're right. Like, he's brilliant. I love that guy. But he keeps on me about my health and everything as well. He'd be like, dude, you're sick again. Like, this is ridiculous. But I've never been, and I used to be really big. Like, I've never hidden that. I used to be really, 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 really big. And so I know how shitty it feels. Don't get me wrong. I really do. And, you know, like him, I've had neckbeards fucking abuse me for my weight and stuff like that. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I'm happy with who I am right now. And so when some random neckbeard gives me abuse about how I looked 10 years ago, I'm like, oh, okay. Thanks for tuning in. I don't care. I'm going to go about my day. Jump on my fucking Harley and go for a rip and go for coffee with my friend. Like, do you know what I'm saying? It's sad. It really is sad to do shit like that. But at the same time, I hope for Glen's own good. Now, you might hate this fucking guy to the moon and back, and I do too. But I don't like to see people suffer. And I'm sure he does suffer tremendously because of his weight. And that's not me being nasty. There's a few of you watching right now who are probably a little bit overweight too. I've been there. It's not comfortable. It's horrible. And there's a lot of health issues that come with it. But anyway, to get that out of breath from just standing up, not doing the act of standing up, but literally just standing there. I hope for his own sake that he does that, you know, he's getting some medical help with that. I really, and that's genuine. Like, that's not me being an asshole and being like, I hope you get some help. No, I really do. Like, I really do hope you get some help because it's not nice. Paul feckin' Morrison in the house says, the Salon de Discussion is back to his original name, for fuck's sake. So, hey, hi all. I hear the Wish.com Vader is still wanting to sweep the leg. He sweep his nasty ass first.
This old man's worried about me filming. He can't handle my filming. Can I ask what happened?
You can ask, she doesn't have to tell you. Anyone able to see what city that is? I don't know how to check, like. How about don't film directly behind the nice lady? Because you're a big fat creep. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't have said it like that. I do actually genuinely apologize for that. I shouldn't have called him a fat creep. He's just a regular creep who happens to be sizely. Well fed. I mean, objectively, he is a fat creep, but it's not a nice thing to say. Sorry, that's horrible. What was that? The hell was that about?
Trolls can't handle it. They can't handle it.
Can't handle what, though? The smell? Like, what? Can't handle what? I'm having a fucking great time. I woke up an hour ago, mocked your ass and chatted with my friends here online for a little while about the most random shit that people watching this back are probably going to be like, what the fuck is this about? Come on, man. Irish Demon doing his old school streaming. Like, going off, fucking miles off what I was supposed to be talking about. That's old school for me. And like, here he is, like, they just can't handle it. What, I can't handle getting up, having a nice hot cup of coffee, chatting with my friends, and getting a few super chats, petty super chats, mocking your ass for a couple hours. I can handle that. That's fun. Especially because of the kind of shit you've done to people and keep doing to people. So fuck you. I'll gladly take those super chats. I'll gladly take those PayPals and buy like a nice little gift for somebody. Don't even keep it from us. Just give it to somebody and go, here, this is from Glen. Like that time we fundraised for a gift for that cop lady that he had abused so horribly. We sent her some. I was on a live stream. I can't remember. Somebody just like, we should send her a gift. I was like, hey, who wants to send her a gift? Fuck it. Let's send her an epic gift. So we did. And it was epic. And so, yeah, that's the nice thing is like, here, this is from my friend Glen. You may know him as Blobby the Sausage Monster. Anyway, that's kind of mean, but I don't care. Ooh, that's gone cold. I think it was Tella.
They don't know where I am or how many cars I have. or how much money I have. The trolls can't handle it.
Anybody know what kind of rage that is? It wouldn't be too hard to find out where he is. Like, and I don't mean that in a go find him kind of way. Not at all. But I mean, it wouldn't be that hard. It really wouldn't. I'm guessing he's still in Washington.
Alright guys, we're gonna call this a night. I gotta get back in my car and go home.
You mean you gotta get back in your car, which is your home?
See you guys next time. Good luck, trolls.
I see. I didn't really catch a whole lot of this at the start. Just see, was there anything worth kind of looking at back there? Probably not. AOW on strike. Nobody gives a shit. It's just like a burner account that I use. Don't tell me he removed it already, did he? Son of a bitch. Alrighty then. All right. Anybody got anything that you want to watch? I showed a video a couple of weeks ago that I thought was going to get a great reaction. I thought people would think that's the funniest shit I've ever seen. Because I laughed my cute little Irish arse off. And then I played it. And nobody gave a fuck. And I was like, are you kidding me? This is the cutest shit I've ever seen. I'm going to show you anyway. I don't give a shit if you don't like it. Because I think it's funny. Where is it though? Damn. I thought that would just come right up. Oh my God, here it is, right? So there's these tiny frogs. It's so funny, man. It's actually hilarious, right? I again, now most of you probably look at this and be like, what the hell are you talking about? But I think they're really cute and really funny. And I know that probably sounds a bit juvenile, but, you know, what of it? The killer about this, though, is you get, because I'm not using my own account, you get fucking ads on YouTube. But anyway. Pumpkin toadlets. They even sound adorable. So pumpkin toadlets are so tiny that they can't jump properly, right? I'm sorry, but they just are adorable, right? You should look for the orangutan eating the possum at Perth Zoo. Oh, natural friend. I have a hilarious story about me and a possum at Perth Zoo. I swear to God, as true as you were fucking there. Okay, I've got this video, right? So, let me explain. So, this little toadlet, right? Just thinking about it's making me laugh already. So, this little toadlet, a toadlet's just like a small toad, I suppose. They can't jump properly, right? Because, so to balance, you have a little bit of fluid in your inner ear, but they're so little that they don't have enough of it to balance properly. Sorry. They're really good at jumping. They're just terrible at landing, right? It is the cutest shit I've ever seen. I'm sorry if this is super boring. I don't care. It's hilarious. Check these little fellas out. It's the way they go stiff. Oh, Jesus Christ. That is so funny. Hold on. I absolutely love these little guys. Like, watch out. It's the way he hits the ground, he just goes stiff. I don't know why it's so funny. I just love it. Bloop. How did they survive this long? There's more videos of it. Like, oh, wait, maybe that's just the one. They all do this. Like, I just think it would be so funny to see this in real life. I think these are fully grown, or they're almost fully grown. Like, they're really tiny. Boing. Bloop. Like, try and tell me that that's not adorable. It is super. It is really, really, really cute. Like, his little legs all tucked up. I don't know why it's so funny. You know what's so funny? Is they literally just yeet themselves, right? So they just jump and then it's the way they start spinning in the air. It's kind of like, you know, like Homer Simpson in the International Space Station. Hop, 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 hop. That's what it reminds me of. I don't know why. That was impressive. He got a bit of spin on that one. Like, I assume they can just regularly walk and stuff as well. Like, it's surely not their only mode of travel. There was one, though, I can't see it here now, but there was one in particular that was really funny. I think that's a fully grown one, actually, yeah. Yeah, so this one is a similar species that's also kind of shit at jumping, but is slightly better because it's bigger. So, like, it has that inner ear thing or whatever. This is probably so fucking boring now, like, in fairness. My mom now is probably watching this. My mom's away on a cruise. She's probably watching this thinking, what are you doing? Like, why are you showing this? I just think it's really cute. And no regrets, basically. Absolutely no regrets. You guys think of anything else you guys want to watch? Or anything going on that you want me to kind of have a look at or whatever? Just let me know. I'm here for a little while. Yeah, she didn't exactly say it's a 9.9 from the Russian judge. First time I saw it, I just pictured myself holding up a card with the thing on it. You know what I'm saying? The score, that's the word. I couldn't think of the word. They are super cute, though. I can't argue with that. A frog got his DNA test back. He's part Scottish, part Irish, and a tadpole. That's pretty good. I can't argue with that. That is actually kind of funny. Frog goes into McDonald's and orders a cheeseburger. The cashier looks at the frog and asks him, would you like flies with that? Oh, Jesus Christ. Anybody got any more frog jokes? I got one kind of... Well, no, it's not a frog joke at all, but the pole part. I've got a Polish friend who's a sound technician. And a Czech one too. And a Czech one too. Anyway, Jesus Christ. Lads. I've been watching too many drunk people, unfortunately. Yeah, me too. Me too. All right, let me hear any more frog jokes. All right, any fucking good stuff going on around that you guys want me to have a look at, I'll take a look at right now. Oh, excuse me. Still, like, got that residual tiredness. Judge locks up Alex Murdaugh's co-conspirator in prison for stealing millions. Did not know that. That's quite something. Oh, do you guys want to see that video I was talking? No, I better not, actually. I better not. I'll get in trouble for that. Never mind. Just going back to Glen's channel here for a second. Like, 125 views on that live stream. I kind of feel like that is indicative of the fact that people aren't interested anymore, Glen. Which is kind of sad for him, but you know. Paul Morrison for £5 says, yeah, I've got a book review happening in 2 weeks' time where you can win the book and a small cash prize, and it's about the Irish famine. Did you write that, Paul? Is that what you mean? Did you write that book? Let me know. Did you hear about the new Frog movie? I hear it's riveting. Ah, no. That is terrible. Funnily enough, I read a book recently about how they put the Titanic together. It was riveting. Oh, lads. How have we descended to this shit again? How does this happen every time that I'm hanging out with you folks? I end up saying dad jokes. Well, I say I end up saying dad jokes. I fucking do that all the time. Thank you so much, Yvonne, for the super duper chat. See, it's still coming through as Australian dollars. I think it's 10 US, but thank you so much indeed. Navy Doc says, was that the potato famine? I would imagine so. Yeah, the Great Hunger, we call it in Ireland. We have a thing about downplaying the seriousness of very, very bad shit in Ireland, right? Martin O'Sullivan, my good friend, dear old friend, is here. He can attest to this, right? So we had a famine in Ireland in the 1840s-ish that wiped out half the population, right? Either dead or emigrated. Okay? Millions and millions of people. It was a horrific famine. Do we really call it the famine? Nah. We call it the Great Hunger. The Great Hunger. Like, that's downplaying it. Like, let's be real. We had a vicious sectarian war in Northern Ireland, which is sadly still going on to some extent, not as bad as it was. And, you know, some of you know about like the Oma bombings and the border campaigns and things like that. A vicious sectarian war in Northern Ireland. What did we call it? The Troubles. That's a little bit of trouble. A little bit of trouble is a vicious civil war, essentially. The Trouble. World War II happened once upon a time, right? The whole world at war, the biggest war that the world has ever seen. World War II, right? What did the Irish call it? The emergency. It'll be grand. That's kind of how we deal with things in this country. We've had to. We've learned that way because a lot of shit things happen to us in our history and even now, like from time to time. So the Irish attitude is kind of, it'll be grand. Don't worry, it'll be grand. It'll be grand. That's a dangerous word in Ireland, grand. Very dangerous. You get into a fight with your girlfriend, you go, I'm sorry, baby, are you all right? And she'll go, I'm grand. No, she's not. It's like when they say, I'm fine. That's more obvious. I'm fine. She's not fine. She's pissed. But it's when they go, I'm grand. If an Irish woman, if you're with an Irish woman, if you have an Irish girlfriend and you ask her, is she okay? And she says, I'm grand. You're in trouble. Because that means she's planning something. I'm fine means she's still pissed. I'm grand means you're going to fucking get it. That's what that means. Just so you know. I did send you an email about it too, mate. See, I don't know what's going on with my emails. I'm not getting half of these emails from people. And it's kind of starting to piss me off. What I'm going to do though, right, there's a few things. Hold on. So my girlfriend does a lot of my social media. That's kind of what she does. That's her expertise. She's a makeup artist too. But anyway, so that's what she does. She does social media and things like that. And she set up an Irish Demon page and something got fucked up with it. Anyway, it's not working. So it is working. What am I talking about? So I do have an Irish Demon Facebook page, okay? And it's going to start being used, okay? So if you go on, you'll see Irish Demon. Go search for Irish Demon on Facebook. You'll see Irish Demon Army. I don't really use Facebook myself, so I don't really know how it all works. Go check out Irish Demon Army on Facebook. I'm also on TikTok and Instagram. I'm going to be posting a lot more there. Natural Friend says, you never responded to my emails. I'm sorry. I really am. Like, I don't know what's going on with it. See, I'm convinced part of it is because of where I live. It's not that they don't come through. I'm sure they do. It's because of where I live. If I'm out on the farm, I have no signal at all. Like, not a fucking bit. Yeah, see, I'm looking for that, Paul, and it's just not coming through, man. Mind you, I'm not exactly a tech master either. That's the other fucking side of this. Did you send it to the Irish Demon Vids or the Irish Demon Army one, Paul? The best way to get in touch with me at the moment is through Instagram. Because my emails are out of control at the moment. I get such a ridiculous amount of emails. So if you try to get in touch with me on Instagram, if you have it, that's the best way. Discord I'm okay at. I fucking find it really difficult to use. I'm just not good at that kind of thing. Oh yeah, Paul, if you can get me on Instagram, that's the easiest way to get me at the moment. But I'm working on, I need to figure out a system to get better at communicating with people because I miss being able to just communicate with people. Oh yeah, any YouTube creator, our emails get spammed all the time. Yeah, Lisa, that would be absolutely brilliant. If you could, Instagram is the way to go, I think. I hope you don't wear bikinis on Instagram, Jason D. No, that's just my OnlyFans. but we don't talk about that on here. Right. What were we going to look at? Somebody brought something up there that they wanted me to look at. Go have a look at some Karens, I think somebody was talking about. Let me ask you this. So my girlfriend, she is really funny. Like really funny. Really adorable. Really cute. She's also really smart. And she's got a really strong Irish accent. And she is dying to do a podcast. Because I've been saying it to her for ages that I think she would be fantastic at a podcast with me. So we were talking about like doing the Am I the Asshole videos and all that kind of stuff. And I think they're really fun. So I think we're going to start doing that pretty soon. I need to get this place set up a bit better for a podcast, to be fair. So I need to kind of move everything around, and going to put my couch back there and some seats and nice lights. And I need to get another one of these microphones. Because I think you kind of need to have two of the same mic. Other than that, I think I'll figure it out from there. I need to get one of those USB towers as well. Anybody who's using Mac M1, fucking nightmare. Like my second screen just doesn't work. I need to get another one of these HDMI things. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. It's a pain in the ass. But if that's something you think you guys would like, I was going to suggest maybe during my 50k subscriber special or whatever, I might get her on for a little while for chat if anybody wants to meet her and say hello and all that kind of stuff. So, she's really funny. Like we had a full-on debate a while back about Pringles, about which direction you're supposed to eat a Pringle in. And this is the kind of thing we debate like on a daily basis, like stupid shit, like which way the toilet paper should go around on the little flip, you know, the little thing. Oh, absolutely. Martin, if you'd like to, you know what we'll do, Martin? I'll get another one of these microphones when I get paid, because I have spent so much money this month, but like on important stuff, like things for my car, my bike, and the dogs, fucking vets bills. That's the thing though, Chihuahuas, like, they don't get sick that often, but when they do, they really do, and it's a pain in the ass, literally for her, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. But Martin, once I get this new mic, if you want to pop down here, man, I'm only just down the road from you, and just jump in, we'll just have a chat here and fucking go live and have a laugh. It'd be great fun. Give me one sec there now. I'm just going to see if I can find this video. We filmed our conversation about the Pringles. It might be long gone now. Like that was ages ago. Yeah, no, it's gone. But it was really funny. We just had such a laugh about it. But she loves those Am I the Asshole things. And they're just brilliant. So I might get her on. She's asleep now, and she will be asleep for a while because she sleeps like crazy. Then we'll get her on for one of those Am I the Asshole ones. Now, she might be a bit shy the first time, but she's really funny though. She's a really funny lady. She's just very engaging, good crack. She's just awesome. Crack means fun, you dirty bastards. I wish I had a horse buying trip to Ireland sooner than later. Oh yeah, Bex, if you do come down this way, what kind of horses? Sports horses, like race horses, sports horses, hunters, what kind of stuff? I live in a small drinking village with a horse problem. Some of the greatest horses to ever exist have come out of this town. That's a fact. Red rum. Jumpers. So I'd be looking Irish Draft, or what kind of Irish Draft thoroughbred crosses or something. I had the name because we were both Norries. I had the name Two Fiends and a Pod. Two Fiends in a Pod. That's fucking genius. Kind of play on words, two peas in a pod. So for those who don't know, fiend is a Cork word. It just means lad. Look at all those fiends over there, kid. Or warm bloods. Yeah, would you find warm bloods down around this way? Possibly. There's a few breeders in Ireland for sure. Actually, there was a podcast that I wanted to check out. It's my friend's brother. He just started this podcast. Hold a while now. I'm gonna get the name of this podcast. And what I'd love, right? So there's like about 100 of you here right now. And if you can, do me a favor. Go like their podcast for me. Go follow them. It's a buddy of mine. I'll actually, you know what? I'll bring their podcast up. And if people like it, go subscribe. Because there's no point subscribing to something that you don't like. Do you know what I mean? I just think it'd be a waste of time for them as well. Like, so hold on, I'll bring up their podcast. So it's two lads from Dublin. All right, so just get it up. We'll just pick a random.
All right, buds.
So there's two lads from up around Dublin in the east coast of Ireland. So there's a channel called Alright Bud, which in Dublish just means hello, for those who are unaware. So Alright Bud means hello. So these lads, one of these guys is a brother of one of my friends. So check this out. Just let me know what you think. I mean, they're really funny guys. They're really hilarious.
Fuck's sake, bud. It's, yeah.
Alright, buds. Episode 6. Myself and Pete today we're chatting about training, eating out. We're looking forward to our...
Hold on there. I'll just skip it on a little bit. Here they are. Here are the boys.
So far, the late smelly chest feet thing, that was the funniest.
That was the funniest, yeah. Yeah, what was it?
So how was our week? How was the week, bud?
Yeah, week was good.
Bud. Alright, bud.
Good training. Got 4 classes in 1-to-1. And then I was in the gym a couple of times as well, just doing light weights.
That's definitely Gary's brother anyway, because the voice is the exact same.
Which actually was something radio.
I've never met these guys now, but obviously his brother's my brother. Long story.
We went to physio, because I mentioned it before.
Definitely Gary's brother.
I was saying for a few weeks, probably 4 or 5 weeks for the classes I was doing. Like,
the sound is really good. They've got really good sound.
And I was in bits. And I went to a physio, and he put me on a kind of a program for my legs to build the muscle in my legs. Because he says to me, he says, do you do much? And I says, look, I'm active enough, but he says, I'm not like playing football around.
Yeah.
And he says, you go to the, I says, I do a bit in the gym. And when I say this, the gym, like, you look at us, you wouldn't think I go to the gym. But go to the gym, because it's, like I said, it's like a lot about mental health and all that. So go to the gym, I always had a weight.
I'm just going to put their link in the side chat.
I'm just going to adjust and mess around with it.
And if it is something that you think you'd like, because it's really easy listening with these guys. They're just really chill. They're really funny, real Dublish. Like, they're lovely guys from the stuff I've heard. I've only ever actually listened to the podcast when I'm working around the house or around the yard. I've never actually watched it, funnily enough.
And he says, what do you do with your legs? Because I told him the rest of it. I said, don't do anything with my legs. I'm 26.
Did you say there's an echo again?
Said, why would I want to train my legs? I said. And he goes, man, it doesn't work like that.
Is there an echo again? What the fuck? Hold on. There shouldn't be. Damn it, man. Is the echo just me, or is the echo on them, or what's the story there? Hold on, I think I know what it is.
He says, you have to build your muscles, because he said basically what's happening is when you're running and you're pounding. Like,
no, I don't see any echo coming through on my side.
Oh, that shock is going straight into the bottom of your back. So he says you need to start building up your quads, your glutes, your hamstrings and all that.
Echo on them?
He gave me a program, and you know, he gave me a few exercises, just doing a bit simple exercises, you know, on the floor or whatever. Started doing them, and then I
just happening on the Glen video too. You're just telling me now.
Sports clinic, and I went into their facility. Savage. You want to see the setup they have now down in Santry. Big, huge, open gym, and you go in and they do
Okay. Somehow my sound just, everything went. Microphone, fucking everything. It seems to be working again. I don't know. Maybe their sound isn't working. How's that now, guys? That should be better. Is it still bad? What the hell, man? Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what. Is it still doing it? Oh my fucking God, man. I don't know what's going on with this thing. It's my computer went tits up. Oh, I can kind of see it now. Yeah. Damn it. I don't know, man. It's like something's wide open and it, like, I know you guys can't see what I see. Anyway, I can't play any more of that because there's something very not right here with my mic setup. I'm gonna have to like just reset everything and fucking start over again. It's a disaster because like on a Mac you have to use kind of loops and all this kind of stuff, and it just gets really confusing and really tricky. I don't know if you can even hear me right now. Can you? Oh yeah, Jason. No, my IT skills are as terrible as they always were, and that I just don't see that changing anytime soon. I do apologize for the destruction of your beautiful ears out there. I am sorry. I fucked it, man. Anyway, if you don't mind, guys, right, go check out their podcast. They are really lovely guys. It's all about losing weight and stuff like that. They're fantastic. Go check it out. Give them a follow, give them a like, and will you just let them know that the Irish Demon sent you? I'd really appreciate it. And I know they would too. But thank you so much for that, guys. Anyway, I gotta go away and do some actual work now. I'm gonna go make a cup of coffee, and I'm gonna start working on the studio, I think. I need to get some stuff. Once I get paid, I'm getting some cool shit for the studio. I cannot wait. Thank you so much, Lisa. I really appreciate it. Me and tech, like I've been doing this like 2.5 years now, and I still haven't mastered it, but that's okay. That's okay. I will be back to do a 50,000 subscriber special over the next day or two, I think, if everything goes to plan, if I'm not too busy. And yeah, thank you so much for joining me, guys. It was a lot of fun. Thank you for the petty super chats and the petty PayPals, and just for the laughs. It was good old school type streaming. I really do appreciate it. Anyway, lads and lassies, thank you so much. I've got like no outro or anything to load, do I? I do. Holy shit, see, I haven't used OBS for this in a long, long time. But anyway, thank you so much. We'll catch you later. Sláinte.